Hello friends, I'm Dr. Amit and continuing with the Hair Transplant Education Series. This is one of my favorite topics in hair transplant. What is a combination hair transplant? I'm sure a lot of you already know about it. They've heard about it so many times from me. So let's understand what is the genesis. How did I start doing combination hair transplants? What is the science behind it? What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? And finally, what are the results of a combination hair transplant? Now, almost about 8 years back, I published a paper in one of the journals of plastic surgery, the Annals of Plastic Surgery, in which I published a technique called MMFT, Micro-Refined Microfollicular Hair Transplant. Dear friends, thank you for watching this video. Please like this particular video and subscribe to my channel. This will give access to all the upcoming amazing videos that we are going to put up and also open up all the other videos that I have posted so far. This dealt with combination of FUE and FUT for almost every kind of a hair transplant. Now I have expanded that use into doing mega sessions. Let's understand why. I used to get a lot of patients who did extensive FUE procedures with other doctors or did multiple strip procedures with other clinics, and we used to see the problems. In FUE, very severe losses of density of donor area was noted in mega sessions of FUE alone, and many times the patient did not have longevity of result because the doctor would take a lot of the hair from outside the permanent zone. Therefore, FUE in mega sessions is a big problem. Multiple sessions of FUT can also lead to a very wide scar which looks very ugly on the back of the head. So I felt that there was a need to do something where we could do large transplants and yet reduce the problems. So what were the problems? One, scar, big scar. Second, longevity of result was a problem because extensive FUE led to taking the hair from outside the permanent zone. Third was the problem of reduced density at the back. So we started doing combination transplants where we did the strip. We did about 5,000 to 6,000 follicles with strip and 3,000 to 4,000 follicles with FUE. And the beauty of this particular technique is that we are not destroying the donor area. In fact, we've got pictures to show that the donor area actually remains intact. You cannot see any difference in the donor area at all. Second was that we never needed to cross the permanent donor zone. Therefore, the result will always be permanent. Third, the scarring was almost very low. In fact, we've put videos on Instagram and YouTube where you cannot even see the scar. So a very thin line of the strip because the closure was done with the trichophytic, and FUE itself was not so dense. It was not so much of hair was not taken out that the hair density at the back would come down. So I basically mixed two techniques to get the best advantages of both the techniques, and we reduced the disadvantage. So if we were to summarize the advantages of the combination technique, one, we don't reduce the donor side density. So donor side density is maintained. Two, we would get far better results and a very large coverage. Three, the scar would be reduced tremendously. Four, the densities at the back were intact. Five, the patient would not get much pain. The strip would not be too long, it would not be too thick. So the pain factor was less, and therefore the patients were more comfortable and were able to get back to office as soon as the next day. So disadvantages, well, I can't think of any. This technique only has advantages, and there's not even a single disadvantage that I've seen with the use of combination hair transplants. So what are the potential results? All our patients have been really happy with combination hair transplants because one, we are able to give very high density in the front, and secondly, we are able to achieve a very large coverage as well, all in one session. So in today's life where people just don't have the time, we are also busy with our personal and professional life. In one session, this is the only way you can cover a very large area. So combination hair transplants is something which I believe is the best way to do a hair transplant.